A VLAN is a virtual local area network. We started out with local area networks, and with a singular local area network, without VLANs, everyone has to be in the same broadcast domain. This is a problem for us. It's a real problem. And the solution is we are going to compartmentalize our LAN into multiple VLANs. We can see them down below. VLAN 2, 3, and 4. Now, in this topology, I want you to see that we've got some very important information, starting with the subnets. Are each of these VLANs in the same subnet, or does each VLAN get its own different subnet? Well, based on this, I can see that we've got 10.02, 10.03, 10.04. Oh, great. Looks like they're matching the third octet of the IP address with the VLAN ID. Great. You could do something very similar. That's a workable convention. This is important. Each VLAN is its own broadcast domain. So if I broadcast out in a VLAN, it goes to everywhere. Switches are going to flood broadcast frames. Now, what makes a broadcast frame a broadcast? It's when the destination MAC address is all Fs. All Fs. It would be bad for a report card, but in Ethernet, that's very special. What a switch is going to do is it's going to take in a frame and it's going to blurt it out all other ports, but all other ports within that VLAN. Normally when we teach this at the associate level, we say when a frame comes in on a switch that's a broadcast, it's flooded out all ports except the port that came in on. Let's improve upon that and say all ports in that VLAN except the port that it came in on. And because a broadcast is expected to go everywhere in the subnet, that means that we must now give a different subnet to this broadcast domain. That is essential. You might think, well, maybe I want to have VLAN 3 and VLAN 4 share a subnet. No, that is not how it's done. That's not going to work for you unless you are way beyond and you find ways of undoing what VLANs are all about and unraveling their strengths, which is not good. Each VLAN gets its own subnet, period. End of story. End of story. We want to be definitive about that. And because we're setting up boundaries now, boundaries are a place where we can do strategic things. Yes, broadcast domains are a form of segmentation, and each switch port is its own collision domain. We can enforce security. How do we do that? Well, there are a lot of mechanisms that we're going to teach you, like, let's say, DHCP snooping, dynamic ARP inspection. Those are enabled on a per VLAN basis, but it goes above that. We can restrict traffic easier when it flows between separate VLANs. And there is probably not a technology out there that is more flexible. Now, that's kind of a stretch, right? You think, oh, there are a lot of virtualization technologies that are flexible. Virtual local area network. So first, it has one of those important flexibility words, virtual. But it can be used in so many different ways. Private VLANs and the technologies of voice VLANs. Bridging wireless. There's a great many things that we can do with VLANs, and that flexibility is going to shine the more you understand these technologies. If there was a single takeaway from this page, I want you to think that a VLAN is the space, the layer 2 space for a layer 3 construct, and that is a subnet. It is the space for a subnet in the switched environment to communicate.